Hi, this is Maya from the How to Draw and Paint channel. Today I'm going to draw the character Frankie Stein. She's a mini ghoul, so she's got giant eyes, tons of hair, and a tiny body, making her a super cute and lovable character. I was inspired to draw Frankie Stein from Monster High Minis Mania game because of her cuteness in the game. We wanted to say thanks to the team at Monster High Minis Mania for sponsoring this video so we can show how to draw this cute character. To get the game for yourself, download it through the link in this video and the video description below. She's super cute, but before we draw her, I want to show you a little bit more about her. She can be found on the Monster High Minis Mania game. And we're going to open up the game. And this whole game is about raising money for the Monster High's school dance. So what our job is to run this cafe to raise money for that purpose. So before we start the game, I just want to show you a little bit more about the game itself. Up here we have our level, which is like our skill level about running the cafe, our money, and gems, which can help us buy cool items. Up here we have the Manage Cafe tab, which brings us to our characters. So here is Frankie Stein, the same character we're going to learn to draw later. And we have also Draculaura. And then all of these characters are available for us to earn as time goes on. So, without further ado, let's start the game. I'm going to turn the sound so that you can get the full experience of the game. And so the purpose is to bring our characters to the correct places they want to eat. At the same time, we have to manage the entire restaurant. They're all hungry and they all are at different places, but they're all impatient. So we have to drag them all to their appropriate station. But we can get extra points by clicking this Mini Mania button at the top corner, where everything goes super fast and you have to work really quickly in order to feed all of the guests. And if you work too slow, they get frustrated and leave. So it's a big task to run the whole cafe by yourself, but luckily you have the minis to help you. And after a while it becomes pretty addicting. So be careful if you're going to download it, because you might not do anything else. You can search for Monster High Minis Mania in the App Store or Google Play. Now that you understand how the game works and who exactly Frankie Stein is, let's learn how to draw her. So what we're going to do is we're going to start blocking out the shapes of her body to make it easier for us to draw her. So because she's a monster, she has proportions that are very different from a human's. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a big triangle. A big square, actually. Once we have a big square in the middle of our paper, then we're going to draw a triangle that connects from the middle to the bottom of the square. And this triangle is going to be pretty small compared to the square. About like that. And if you even want to do a little bit smaller, that's fine too. We might go and adjust the size later. So once you have your triangle, we're going to draw two squares, rectangles that come from the bottom of the triangle, and those are going to be her legs. And then we're going to connect other triangles, just like that, see, to the side of her dress, which are going to be her arms. Then next to her feet, and a little bit above it, we're going to draw two circles, and those are going to be the ends of her hair. So once we have this down, it's going to be very easy to draw Frankie Stein. We're going to make it even easier to draw her by coming in and drawing lines across our box. We're going to cut that in half, and then we're going to cut this box into thirds. And then we're going to cut this half of the box into thirds long ways. And this is going to give us all the proportions of her face. Hopefully it'll be easier to draw her. So now that we have our proportions, we're going to go in and start drawing her face. So this box is going to serve as both her head and her hair. The top half is going to be her hair, and the bottom half is going to be her face. So we're going to come out and curl this in the side of her face. Just like that. And then we're going to come in and we're going to draw her dress. And it's just 2 more triangles downwards like this. And then another rounded off triangle that way for her tie. And then her dress is a little bit of a figure here at the waistband. So we'll come in, we'll draw the waistband. And then for her skirt, what we're going to do is we're going to come out a little bit from her waistband. And then we're just going to draw a jagged line, just like this. And then we're going to draw more triangles here to create the illusion of her pleats. Just like that. We can go ahead and start drawing her feet by rounding off the bottoms of the rectangles we drew at the start. And fill in her arms by using the triangles at the side of her dress. So very easy because of all of our preparation in the beginning to draw her body. What we're going to do now is we're going to work more on her face. So if this is the face here and this is her hair, we're going to go ahead and sketch in the hair. And her hair comes down like this and then connects to a beret here. And this hair comes all the way down here that connects to our circle. So what we're going to do to make this easier on ourselves is at the top of the box that we drew, we're going to come in with a curved line, swoop over the top of the box a little bit, and then go down and connect. Just like that. And we're going to do the same type of thing to the other half of her face by coming in and connecting this way to the circle. So we already have the outline of her hair. So that should make it even easier for us to keep drawing. You can see here we've got the bangs drawn, so we can go ahead and connect this strand down to the bottom where the hair curls in. Just like that. And this strand here that connects to the beret starts up here as well, come down here, and create the curl in this side of the hair. We can draw that curl. Just like that. We can connect the hair back behind her. See, and her hair is so long that it touches the floor, so we can see that demonstrated back here where her hair drags. Now we'll come in, we'll work more on her face, and then we'll move to the details of her hair. So now that we have the planes of her face mapped out, what we're going to do is draw her eyes. And so that's what these boxes here are for. Her eyes are mostly circular, but they're a little bit shaped at the sides, kind of to look like an almond, and they're slightly tilted up at the sides. So what we're going to start off with is just 2 circles, and they're drawn mostly on the squares at the side, but a little tiny bit to the middle as well. Big circles, really big circles. Just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come in the side here, and we're going to draw a tiny point, just like that. And draw a point on the upper side as well. Just like that. That gives her kind of the cat eye. Then what we'll do is we'll come in and you can draw the iris and the pupil. And you can draw a couple lines for the eyelashes. Just like that. Then we can come in and draw a little nose and her mouth. So now we've got her face mapped out pretty well. We're going to go back in and do a little bit of touching up on the hair. As you can see here, she's got kind of a shadow that goes down on her forehead. So that's what this is going to be, this line here. And her hair comes up, and then down, and then over, connecting to the beret. And then actually this is a whole strand here. So we'll draw that there. That connects to the part. She's got lots of parted hair here. You can kind of freehand this. There's nothing really too technical about drawing the hair strands. So just feel free to kind of be creative where you want to place the hair strands. On this side too, we'll draw a couple strands for the part. And then go down, connecting to the hair and the swirl. She's got some hair behind her as well. She's looking pretty good so far. She's got a little freckle here. But other than that, she's looking pretty good. We have to go back down and put on her shoes. So we're just going to draw a line for her shoes and her socks. Just like that. Again, looking pretty good. So now what we're going to do, once we're happy with the lines we've made, is we're going to come in with our Sharpie. I'm just using a regular Sharpie here, but if you have some nice pens you want to use, that'd also be a good idea. We're going to start with the hair. I'm just going to make some lines coming from the middle of the part outwards, on the same side too, to make it look like her hair is parting from both sides. And then come down and trace the lines that we've already made. Just like that. Draw her beret. You can just see how I'm filling in the strands of her hair. And here where it comes down, connects into the beret. in the shadow of her hair, across her forehead. And then again on this side, we're going to come down and connect to the lines we've already made. Just like that. But it's starting to look pretty good in the hair. We've got lots of movement. I'm going to come behind her and draw in the hair down at her feet. Looking pretty good so far. So now we'll start on her actual body. We're going to come in and draw her face. Just like so. And her mouth. Her nose. And then starting with the circle, her eyes, and then coming down with the points. Just to keep the shape of her eyes as best we can. And then she has so many eyelashes. I'll come in and do a bunch of eyelashes. Just like that. And then we'll come in with the pupils, but this time what we're going to do is we're going to leave part of the pupils black and part of it white. So we're going to leave a small section here and here, a small square on the right and a small circle on the left, just for the shine of her eyes. And then we can fill in the pupil. Just like that. And then she's got a little freckle there. And then we'll come in with her dress, triangles here. And then for her tie, her arms, and her skirt, the triangles for the pleats. That really gives the illusion of the pleats. And then her feet. Rounded circles at the bottom, and then just lines for the socks and shoes, and her waistband. So we're almost done. We're going to go back in and fill in a couple things, like I'm going to draw some of the lines that connect the back of her hair. And as you can see in the photo, this part, this shadow above her forehead is colored in. So we'll go ahead and do that. There's also a little bit of a thicker line going on here, which you can do. Some of the line work is thicker in places, which kind of gives it the image of having depth. There we go. She's looking pretty good. Come in and color her tie. And she is just about done. So what we're going to do next is come in with our eraser and start taking away all of the pencil lines that we used to proportion her. You can see all the hard work that we've put in with our Sharpie. And now we're really getting a good look at our finished product. She looks just like Frankie Stein from the game. I hope you guys had fun learning how to draw Frankie Stein from Monster High Minis Mania. But if you excuse me now, I'm going to get back to playing the game. And if you guys want to join me, there's a link in the video description where you can download it, or you can visit the App Store or Google Play.
It's a new day at Monster High.